Let's go back to the grand final, though, of 2016 and have a look at the Sharks and the Storm. They'll be going into this year feeling pretty good, having finished so high in the competition and then playing in the grand final, and the Sharks, of course, winning it. But what are they got to be wary of for 2017? Because I guess you can get too confident, too cocky.
Yeah, I think with the Sharks, what you got to be really wary of, or what you got to be aware of, if every single season isn't the same, it's always different. So this year they're the defending premiers. Everyone's watching them, but let's say they get off to a slow start, and all of a sudden you go, "Oh my God, this isn't panning out the way last year did." Suddenly panic starts to set in. The media start applying a little bit of pressure, and all that stuff. The pressure starts to take a life of its own. For me, the Sharks have just got to be aware that this campaign is going to be fraught. There's going to be injuries, suspensions, controversies. There's going to be periods through the season where they don't play good football. They might even lose 3 in a row. Right? But it does not mean that the season is going to be a failure. It's a lot of pressure being a defender premier.
Also lost a couple of players as well.
He lost a couple of really important players. Mick Ennis was a great leader for him, and Ben Barber, who returned to his best last year.
Yeah, I think there's pluses and minuses with the Sharkies. I think the minuses are them two people, Ennis and Barber, who won't be there. They won't really realise how much they're going to miss Ennis, I don't think, until the season really kicks into gear. The pluses are that Paul Gallen has ruled himself out of Origin and Test match footy from now on, so his whole focus is on team. I think they'll be in the top 6. The Sharks, from there on, they can still win it, but it's so much harder to defend the competition these days. And there's a reason why the last team to do it was Broncos in 92-93. It's such a hard thing to do.
Are they going to have more players, in rep footy as well? They're going to have to deal with that. Like perhaps they didn't have as many last year. Valentine Holmes is going to play State of Origin this year.
I think it's a plus too, him at fullback, because he's such a good fullback.
Oh, he's a good player.
So do you take the pluses, the fact that they're going to go into an Origin camp and learn from the best, and that's or the fact that the Sharkies might have a couple of games where they haven't got their top guns on the field.
Fafita, Bird.
And
Valentine Holmes.
Valentine Holmes is going to be on the wing, isn't he, for Queensland this year?
The toll it takes on you an Origin campaign. Look, there'll be better players into the future, but for this year, it can be a bit of a hindrance.
Yeah, I still have the Sharkies as a top 4 team, and the Storm, which I'll let the boys talk about in more detail in a moment, but I reckon the Storm could win the whole thing. They were so close last time, one play away, literally.
Are you saying winner or top 4?
I'm saying to win. I think the Storm are going to win the comp.
Okay, I'm writing that down because I'm keeping a tally. Maddie, before we move on to the Storm, the Sharks, where will they finish?
I think they'll finish around 5-6.
Okay.
Tough being the defending premier. They make the top 4, mate. They've gone above and beyond for me.
The Storm having to bounce back from a loss in the grand final. It's always, I imagine, very hard to do mentally. Where do they go to from here for this season? Because they're always right about there, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. They're a guarantee that, firstly, they're always guaranteed they're going to be in and around that top 4. For mine, the really important thing for the Melbourne Storm is that don't look to the past and go, and just go, right, what we've done in the past works, just to stick there. A lot of sides, if you don't improve in this competition, you go backwards. Very rarely do you stay the same and you improve. Yeah. You have to be a better team, like all these young sides on the way up, like Penrith, and the Roosters are going to be better, and Warriors will be better, and so on and so forth. For the Melbourne Storm, for me, where they're going to finish, they'll be their grand final day.
Wow.
But one of the other real important things is Slater.
Billy Slater's back.
If Slater's at fullback and Munster's at 6 and Cameron Smith's at 9 and Cronk's at 7, boy, oh boy, what a spine. That'll carry them a long way.
I followed the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA. I kind of think that the Storm are that version of them in the rugby league. They're always, no matter what happens to them, they always seem to make the finals, and they always seem to be a presence in the game. With their coach, Bellamy, I think he's the best in the game at the moment. So just on that alone, they're going to make the top 4.
Okay.